But after the weirdness of 2025, it became a, this has to be the first episode, is what the expletive of choice happened, because I know both of us started out, and I think also talking to you, because in January or February, we were all collectively very, very, very optimistic for 2025.
She walked in with an empty bag into the bathroom, and she walked out of the bathroom with a full bag. And it turns out she actually left with the bathroom sink.
Everything but.
Runs his patrol car into something other than air.
To pull a Jurassic Park and bring anything back, what would it be?
Now, same ranger told me that there was no bears in the park, even though I and Gary, we used to go out in the woods and we would set up stuff for people to find. Like, we'd set up a tent. That way people could have something. And
Did he bother telling the bears that they were not allowed in his woods? Right, I am Neal Parker. To my immediate left is Gene Hobbs, and down on the end is David Bliss. We are the Cheerful Adventure Company, and this is the Cheerful Adventure Company podcast. Here's what you do. Who got July?
I did.
All right. So for the month of July, what went wrong in 2025?
Well, the big obvious thing that everybody was talking about for pretty much the entire month was the Coldplay Kiss Cam CEO.
Oh, God. The memes from that were hilarious and awful.
Yeah. And they've continued on. Like,
yeah,
I don't feel like
stopped.
I don't feel like that one's really come to an end yet.
Did you see that she was complaining because she was somebody had in an interview that she gave deemed her unemployable?
I did not see that.
Yeah. Which I will say, like, I'm not an HR guru, but there are people in this room who perhaps are. Isn't HR supposed to make sure that inappropriate relationships don't happen?
Yeah, one would have thought. The fact that it got caught on camera, I thought, was probably the most interesting part in the way that they downplayed it and tried to downplay it. I love the response from Chris Martin and Coldplay when he said either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. But it caused a lot of debate.
If they hadn't even moved, it wouldn't have been on the news.
Nope. They just stood there. Probably nobody ever would have
just
seen
waved.
or done anything. That's a very good point, actually. Yeah, so it did bring to the forefront the use of technology in public spaces, and we've talked before independently of this on FERPA and public spaces on campus and what constitutes things that can be broadcast and can't, and copyright in general is kind of an interesting little line here. But I found this whole thing entertaining just because it did blow up, and it was a lot of controversy around something that, it was very clear he needed to resign, and he did, and she needed to resign, and she's gone now, and ultimately in the end, good luck to both of them.
I don't think either one is employable going forward in those roles.
That was a problem.
Yeah.
But it was well covered. But yeah, that happened just to kick off the July.
God, that's quite a kick.
And it seemed like the thing that everybody in the world wanted to talk about. The date of the next one I pulled because one, I found it funny. And two, it's squarely in your wheelhouse. But what do you think about putting things on windows to keep spaces cooler?
Oh no.
Depends on the thing. Greatly.
Well, what kinds of things would you anticipate would be good to put on windows?
Window film, maybe some solar pickup, maybe blinds.
Okay.
What about a bulldozer? Am I
Probably
close?
How about yogurt? What do you think about putting yogurt on windows?
No. New. How about new?
So this one was one that really made me laugh out loud because it was fairly disgusting. But some scientists in England conducted a
Why are all of our
what they-
stories out of England weird?
what they call unconventional experiment to see if smearing yogurt on a house window could help keep the interiors cooler during heat waves.
Windows. So what's the thermal insulation value for the mushrooms that start growing on the yogurt?
Valid question. Makes you wonder about green roofs. I stare out looking at one.
Yes, I know.
So
David, how do you feel about green roofs?
Depends on the green. If they're the green where they just paint them green, I'm fine. If they're the green where they have plants on them, they're a huge waste of money and could be better used for solar panels or not making things try and grow. Roots go through things.
Yeah.
They also take care and maintenance.
I don't think that they've done a whole lot to some of our green roofs. Like they occasionally need to be mowed.
There's one on this campus, that in order to get the mower out to cut the grass, you have to go through a window in a classroom. I am told.
do we have one of those remote control mowers that could just live in a little house out
I don't know
there
if we
and then
have
roll
one.
out?
That's like a whole new level of death-defying video games. Remote-controlled lawnmower duels.
What about running it off the roof, and what would happen to the people below if that were to happen? I mean, that's a clearly defined risk that risk management would probably have to come up with. But the lawnmower Roombas on a green roof might be fun. Either way, what they found was that the houses, if they were smeared down with yogurt during a heat wave, would remain 3.5 degrees Celsius. Or approximately 6.3 degrees Fahrenheit, cooler during hot conditions from yogurt. That's Greek yogurt, if that actually matters.
The fat
I'm gonna
content
go
of
with-
the yogurt matters.
I'm going to go with, I bet they could have attained the exact same results by smearing it with white paint.
I was thinking butter.
Again, bugs and butter melts.
Well, but bugs would also have thermal properties, wouldn't they?
So my guess is the yogurt does two things. Number one, it's reflecting a lot of solar load. And number two, depending on how thick they get it, but it would have some insulating properties to help maintain the inside conditions. But there are cheaper and less smelly
Non-dairy products.
non-dairy products. I would bet that part of the problem would be, picture this with me. We decide to do that here. I smear these windows with Greek yogurt. The sun comes out. It stinks. It's going to attract bugs. In short order, bugs will begin to eat the yogurt, right? Because we can't use toxic yogurt because we're an environmental friendly camp. Now, how often do I have to reapply? That's one question. But then fast forward. Once the bugs start coming for the yogurt, the birds will see them. And how many bird murders are we going to take where they're flying into windows trying to pick off bugs?
If you have the yogurt on thick enough, they're just going to go.
And if the feathers continue to pile up, then doesn't that create some insulation as well?
Oh, this is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was one of the few that made me laugh.
I do feel like some scientist somewhere.
That's the great thing, though, about science.
Would have had a
David, is
better
that-
idea.
No, that's the great thing about science is we don't know if it's a great or a bad idea until we go and we actually lay fingers on. We can look at it and suspect, but you never truly know. You have to try.
I'm going to respectfully disagree. I could name several things that I'm not going to, that without trying, I could tell you are not a good idea.
I think I could probably name one or two myself, but let's not go into that one. The internet can... Go and look on the internet for things you shouldn't do. That actually should be on the list.
Yeah.
It's actually a good one. Yeah.
That should probably be on
One
the
of my
list.
favorite British Medical Journal articles is actually on whether or not you need a parachute.
So, fun fact, you do not need a parachute to go skydiving. you do need a parachute to go skydiving twice.
Not necessarily. The analysis is interesting. I'll remember and send that paper to you. I think you'll find that enlightening.
Well, what's the record?
I truly found it enlightening.
72,000 feet.
I
Survived.
don't remember. It was a
Landed
fun.
in a freshly sodded yard of a doctor.
It was a fun article. I don't remember what year it came out, but it also came out on April Fools because they tend to. British Medical Journal is great for putting out articles on the April 1st edition that
You would
have
think they'd pick another
really,
date.
They
Yeah,
have really
that's
interesting articles that go in that date.
Bad sales for that date in terms of convincing people.
Honestly, it is perfect for some of the articles that get written. I truly, that's the one day a year that I would make sure that I go look up the British Medical Journal. So from there, the next thing I had on my list here was a really funny one. So now we're moving from windows to swimming pools. So trying to figure out how do we keep cool in the hot July heat. And the video was of an Amazon drone, and these drones are huge. But the prop wash actually ended up sending the package into the pool.
Really?
Yeah,
That is a much more substantial drone than I would have thought that they were. When you said, "Oh, they're very big,"
it was also a small package.
Oh,
So
okay.
it turns out the package was vitamins, and so you could apparently for an extra $3 have your delivery made quickly by drone, where this particular family lived.
and then destroyed.
Yeah, well, who knew it was going to go in there? So that was kind of fun because there's always a lot of drone mishaps. Like we see them all the time posted, but this
I
one,
love the people that are trying to get to the drone before it sinks into the water. They're
Yes.
running towards it, and you can see the drone coming down. Is he going to make it? No. Is he going to make it? Maybe.
and then there's the pictures of people who come home and there's a drone sitting in their front yard because it had to ditch. It didn't crash; it ditched. But I find all the drone stories are entertaining. This is the one that just really made me laugh because it was, a free pool delivery, or I guess they had to pay for the pool delivery. But that was kind of fun.
I like it.
Moving back to our interplanetary storyline,
Oh no.
astronomers were using the Atlas telescope in Chile, and a comet from outside of our solar system, and the name on this comet is 31/Atlas. It was confirmed to be an interstellar object, and it was moving at a hyperbolic trajectory and high speed that made it clear it wasn't bound by the sun's gravity. So,
It's an extrasolar object.
yes. The the interesting thing about that is it had some people that started discussing whether or not it could be an alien. So we're back to that alien topic again.
Excellent. So it's going to bring us more dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of people say it's behaving oddly.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it was first confirmed as an interstellar object in 2017, and the let's see, I'm gonna read the quote here. Exhibited unusual acceleration that couldn't be fully explained by cometary outgassing. So ultimately, the question is it a spaceship, or is it a comet? Scientists all seem to be under very clear agreement that it is a comet. But hey, the internet lore being what it is, that's the part that made me laugh. The speculation was quite entertaining. To read.
Well, I
And that's
saw
the
one
part
that
made
said
me
they
laugh.
had backtracked where it could have been at different times, like leaving, and I saw one, and again, how much of it is accurate, right? But it was a good candidate for the WOW signal they got, the extrasolar WOW. So they're like, it was in about the right spot at the right time, that it was in the transmission.
Yeah.
So it could have sent us a signal
Yeah. Or
long
si-
before it got here.
Or a signal could have reflected off of it.
Yep. Probably from my microwave.
Exactly. Either way, it was an interesting story. That one also made me laugh. I was quite entertained by the speculation over this thing that is, well away from us, and probably never actually know anything about in my lifetime.
Well, hopefully not. If it turns around.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, if it turns around, we will conclude our next podcast very solemnly.
Yeah. But that kind of wraps up the most entertaining stuff that I found in July. That things were, the discussions were all over the place. Everything from HR to the extraterrestrial life, with some yogurt in the middle.
I think I saw this video on the internet once.
Did you get direwolves? Did you get direwolves in there?
I did not.
Direwolf puppies, born in July.
Were they?
From that company that was trying to revive the direwolf by
I
modifying
remember
DNA
that.
from gray
I
wolves into
forgot
direwolves.
about
I think that.
I wrote 2 down, 33 eye atlas and the direwolves just in case.
No, I think that was one of the places where I became aware that in biological sciences that it's kind of frowned upon to be making stuff. It's new stuff.
Well, they say they're
Don't
trying to remake
manufacture-
old stuff.
I mean, the woolly mouse is kind of cute, right?
It was very cute.
This is not cute.
I don't know, man.
Fluffy
They were
elephants
pets in
might
Game
be
of Thrones,
cute.
weren't
I
they?
don't know.
You're going to
loyal?
be cute right up until you have to clean out the stable.
I mean,
Or the direwolf stable. It's going to be filled
can't
with
be any
human
bigger than the
bones.
stable, like, or the horse do.
I don't think that's the case. Have you been to the zoo?
Once or twice.
Yeah, it's monumental.
Which brings us back to the question of, did the horses poop in Walmart?
Oh, if they did not clean that up, that is a bad pet owner.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and relook at the video. I mean, they might have had the bags. The little bags in the
Yeah,
back of the
possibly.
They don't catch everything.
No, they don't. I have no idea.
Pretty
Either
good.
way, the video just only showed them walking into the Walmart. Which
There's
is funny
our
enough.
$1 million idea. Horse diapers.
I don't want to be the one to fit the diaper on the horse.
No, we just have to invent it.
It has to be tested. Like, that's one of the rules of patenting, right? That you have to have. It
No.
needs to be a functional prototype.
I don't think that's actually a requirement.
Oh boy.
Or should we just be?
There are some infinite energy engines that are patented, I'd like to show you, and if they've got a functional prototype, they deserve it. But I'm betting money
That they don't.
they don't.
That's really funny. I have to wonder if horse farts is something that we could sell on the internet through a
Given
social
the-
media channel.
Given the one, was it Australian?
Yeah.
Yeah. But very possibly.
There may be some good money in horse farts.
I mean, I'm not going to judge.
Yeah. So, if anybody out there wants to take that idea and run with it, please let us know.
Or don't.
Yeah, preferably not really, but was a fun one.
That's hilarious.
Who's
and
next?
awful.
Let us start out with the vampire lawyer.
That's quite an open.
On the finer point of law, a certain intern started her summer job at Sydney Austin in New York City and made her mark by biting another employee. For which she was not immediately fired.
Gene, is that HR actionable?
That should be HR actionable.
Nope. The law firm tolerated such behavior through 5 victims because the biter, otherwise personable, and there was some reluctance to elevate the matter. However, employment attorney Dan Swartz is referenced here, said that if she has a disability that compels her to bite other people, the ADA does not protect an employee at the expense of another employee.
Not at all.
I'm surprised this was even a discussion.
I am too.
Some
And
of
then
the
it went
things
to
and discussions
5.
So if
even
we're
here-
sitting here in our little corporate space broadcasting into the internets, and I take a bite out of David, what are you going to say? Stop biting him? I would hope.
That'll work. Good.
Plus, I'm delicious.
Oh, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was quite an open for.
How many
August.
times?
5, Gene, 5.
How many times did they have to tell her that was a bad idea?
The fact that it was even once is a problem.
Yeah, I'm really taken aback by that, but at the same time,
Where was this at?
New York.
I mean, honestly, as likely as any, I would not have been more surprised, though, or been slightly less surprised if it had been, like, I don't know, Florida or Alabama or Louisiana, the places we typically pick on.
yeah, I probably need to go back and look to see if this one made the. So John Hyman's an attorney in Ohio, and he runs the Ohio HR Law blog, and every year he runs a competition for who wins the worst employer of the year, and he actually sends them
the worst employer of the year.
Yeah, he sends them a trophy. It's really quite sad, some of the stories that are in there, but a lot of them end up involving personal injuries of some type or death and maiming. But I would wonder whether or not that one made his list for
They
this
should
year.
have, like, a dishonorable mention category.
It's almost like a
I don't know.
award.
I don't know whether he does or not. I have to go back and look. I can honestly say that this is the first year in several years that I've missed voting for which ones I thought were my favorites. But he
I don't
posts all
think
those.
favorite's the right word, Gene.
Well, he posts those throughout the year to LinkedIn, and they make for really sad, but also sometimes entertaining reads for some of the things that actually occur that people get away with. 5 bites.
5 different people.
That's just unbelievable.
Now, you do have to wonder, though, like, is she biting guys and they don't want to tell?
I assure you, if I get bitten by a coworker, HR is going to know quickly. I don't care.
Wonder if the guys she bit were single, so therefore they were not sure if she was just flirting.
Doesn't matter. You don't walk up to somebody, hi, chomp.
I'm not one to king shame, but there's
It requires two parties to consent.
Yeah, there's places where that's allowed.
Yeah,
and there's places where it's not. The workplace is not.
It's not.
That place.
Yeah, it requires
So-
2 parties to consent to it, and if we're talking about it at this point, one of them did not.
Yeah.
At least one of the
Apparently,
5.
5 of them did not.
There might have been more than 5, but at least 5 were like, hey, no,
Yeah.
thank you.
5 were non-consensual.
I hope she
bites.
brushed her teeth.
Rabbit intern.
Oh, in between, frankly, otherwise she's transmitting bloodborne illnesses.
You know how sometimes when it rains really hard, like, there's
Wait, wasn't there this thing in the
Roaches
Monty
and-
Python movie?
might be, yeah, but I mean, like,
There's
there's
a rabbit.
stuff that comes up out of the floor,
Run away.
out
run
of
away.
drains.
Yeah.
So we'll find them because they die almost the minute they get into one of our buildings, right? But they do live in the drains, the roaches, and they can hold their breath a really long time and stuff like that. But we have taken to, like, if it rains really bad, you'll find 3 or 4 that have invariably come out over the weekend or something like that. So we've taken to calling them.
Oh, no. No, that's going to have to be cut.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to frown on that one too. But
that there was a cut just now. Yeah, there was another cut.
yeah. Let's not refer to them as.
Let's not
How about we
refer
go
to what
with-
we're not supposed to refer to them as.
How about we get ready on the world of fishing?
Oh, excellent.
So a gentleman was driving home from church on July 27th. Noticed a bald eagle flying over the highway at Okeechobee Lake, Wisconsin. There was an eagle carrying a fish until it wasn't. As Cutler watched the fish fall, he wondered if he had hit it with his car. Upon arriving home, his daughter located the fish stuck in the grill of his truck, and the largemouth bass went in the family's fridge. As the driver said, it was the biggest bass he has ever caught.
That was a setup for the worst dad joke ever.
It's not even my original dad joke.
I know. That's awesome.
So does that classify as reuse or recycle?
It's a good. You heard about the one-armed fisherman, right?
No.
He caught a fish this big.
All right.
Fishing again.
No more
Oh, no.
fishing.
An
I was looking forward to them.
osprey, in British Columbia, dropped a fish onto a power line, sparking a brush fire.
And where?
British Columbia.
Was there a video of that?
Not on the one I had. I'm sure we could probably find one, right?
I can find a video of a brush fire. It just might not be the right one.
I'm
Right?
just wondering how they narrowed down that was the cause.
You almost had to have seen it, right?
Yeah, somebody had to
Well,
have witnessed it if it
like-
wasn't recorded.
If it's
Why didn't they put the fire out?
Right? Would have been small.
Oh yeah, I wonder how. Like, because stuff has to fall in these things all the time. How do you? Somebody that knows more about electricities than me needs to weigh in here, because this does not seem like it should be that easy to occur.
That and fire investigations, like how did they determine that was the actual cause?
Right. And birds.
Do
Right?
what?
We went from fishing to birds.
Well,
Yeah.
something's fishy about that situation.
I'm going to continue with birds and wrap in aliens next.
Oh, great.
Sweet.
You ready?
Go ahead.
UFO pigeons. Pranksters in India used colored lights tied to pigeons to lead local residents to believe there was a swarm of UFOs.
That is so much better than drones. You know,
Wow.
there's these huge drone shows in China, right? And they're all over the internet. They're some of them are truly
Oh, yeah.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
number and the art and everything. It is a magical looking thing. I like the idea of some really disobedient pigeons tricking a bunch of locals.
That and moving in a group and how they would swarm.
Do
and-
pigeons do that?
I think they do. Like if you walk up, I have no idea. Somebody will tell us.
That is how the internet works, gee. Pigeons do not swarm.
In the world of weird,
I don't know. I mean, I keep coming back to Home Alone since we just watched it. You know, all the pigeons are there. They're around her with the food source, but when you scare them off, they all seem to kind of go towards the same area.
did you hear
To
about
the
the
next
guy who
food
taught
source.
him to steal?
I can't remember.
It's the guy who
They would trade for food.
he trained them to bring him money, coins and bills, in which case he would buy food for the crows. And now he has a drawer, and they will just fly into his house and drop money in this drawer if he leaves his window open. He has no idea where they're getting it, but he sounds like he's starting his villain arc early by training a flock
so-
of crows to go steal money. Like, imagine that. You're standing there, you're trying to pay for something, and I mean, Britain has trained them to pick up cigarette butts and put them in a machine which
I
will
saw
dispense
that.
food for them.
I saw
Yep.
that.
But this dude is flat going for money. You bring me money, I put food out for you.
I mean, that's not the worst idea I've ever heard. It's not the most ethical idea I've ever heard.
Development officers on campuses everywhere.
I know, yeah.
Fundraising!
Like, pigeon-wise, dude, that's not the worst thing I've heard. It's worse than what I'm about to say, but apparently for one of the intercollegiate rivalries, like football-wise, a fella had been scattering bird seed on an opposing rival's football field and blowing a whistle while he did it. Scattering bird seed, blow a whistle, scatter
I heard
bird seed,
about
blow
that.
whistle. And so, stopped for a little bit, a couple weeks go by, the opening whistle blow of the start of their regular season tweet, well, there's a whole bunch of birds here now in the middle of our
Season
in
opener.
our middle of our season opener.
Well, that's fun.
I thought it was hilarious. Another very, very, very good use of pigeons.
So, video game references next.
Okay.
Silent Man. Right?
Got me on that one.
Yeah, more of a horror man. Kind of like Slender Man, I'm thinking, but there's a man known as the Silent Man in Wales
Okay.
who's been arrested for the 12th time. Apparently what he does is he goes and stands in the middle of busy roads to make people very uncomfortable.
Nice. Why?
I'm guessing it's cold.
Yeah.
There's several military bases I'm aware of where they just know when the temperature gets below a certain range, people will start trying to climb the fence half-heartedly
Fair.
because
So
they get a night
Kill.
out of the cold. They literally just get the van ready because they know if it's going below a certain temperature, they're not even earnestly trying to get over, but they're doing it enough.
They're going to go
get
shake
up.
the fence and try to. Yeah.
So, human oddities on that one. There's a woman in Brazil found with 26 iPhones taped to her body, they believe for smuggling. I don't know why you need to smuggle an iPhone to Brazil, but
It could be stolen too. Might be trying to smuggle it into a prison. I don't know.
maybe.
That many there.
And then
I don't know what a cell phone
That
is worth in
same
prison.
month,
I'm sure the internet can tell
a
us.
separate
but
woman got married
probably
to,
worth it.
got engaged to an AI chatbot.
I remember that.
I have another one of those for one of my months, David. But they got a little further than the engagement.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
So, in the world of weird,
Now I'm really scared.
Yeah.
jesters. Landscaper in Florida was threatened by a man in a jester costume with a dagger.
That's not funny.
Okay, so what country did this happen?
The country of Florida.
So what happened in this one? A country where people carry firearms for fun.
And Florida's a stand your ground state.
Florida's a murder people you don't like state. Like, not just stand your ground.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a really risky game to play. Do y'all remember around here about, I don't know, it was pre-pandemic, by 5-6 years, but there was folks that were hiding around in clown costumes around Halloween.
Yeah, to mess with people.
Yeah.
There's a video of one of them where it was a prank and they were getting ready to do it, and then they realized that the lady they were going to scare was actually being pursued. Like she was really in danger.
Oh no.
Like if I find it again, I can send it to you. But people she was like at a train station. She's trying to walk away. One of the guys is walking after her pretty good, and there's two others. And when the guy who's the prankster in the clown outfit realizes, because he's like got a net over him or something like that, when he realizes she's actually in danger, he waits for her to pass, and then he stands up between her and the attacker.
Oh.
And they start running.
Could you imagine being that guy?
He had like a bat in each hand. Like, I mean, when he stood up, he was like
No.
full-on clown outfit.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh.
That does kind of go with something that I plan to do.
You plan to dress up as a clown?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Far worse than that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I might not see you at the next couple of weeks.
No, it's the so for every year for Halloween I do something horrible to my neighborhood.
Do they know it's you?
Yeah.
Is it yogurt on their window?
No, it's not yogurt.
Okay.
That
Just
wasn't
checking.
yogurt, Gene. But like 2 years ago, I accidentally fogged out the whole neighborhood with smoke machines, much bigger ones and more effective than I thought I was going to. So I blotted out like the street lamps.
Nice.
Yeah, you could not see the street lamps. You could see like up maybe 8 feet tops, 2.5 meters for those not here. That was not good. This past year, I put the most dangerous rototiller that I've got. It's the one that you can, if you shift it into reverse, you can pull the lever that makes it go down, and it will start backing up. But it's also got a pin that you can push in to lock it into drive. It's that old. So it will run over you and rototiller you into the ground. I put that out in the front yard with a giant dog next to it and a whole bunch of human bones. 1 year soon, I'm either going to do it this year or the next, building a pirate ship.
I built one.
Yeah. That will be, I want to see pictures of yours. I got that, and then I've got my
Three-master, 40 feet tall.
Wow.
For how? Wait, you?
Actually, for church, for a church thing. Used to
That's
sit out
awesome.
on 401. I built it on a bulldozer trailer, and the whole thing would fall up. Like you could actually take it apart and put it on the trailer to move it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, three-master. I actually built sails that went up and down. I got a call one night because we left the sails up and I had to drive out to the church real quick because the wind had picked up and it was actually starting to move the bulldozer trailer.
If you push over
Well
a church with a bulldozer trailer, that's some kind of sacrilege. I don't know what type.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like I got photos.
I want to see that.
That's impressive.
I'm going
Yeah,
to
working crow's nest and everything.
That That is really
It was a
impressive.
stage for kids fest.
So in other things, I've got a haunted tractor that I will ride as a clown farmer. And what I think I'm going to do either this year or the next is go as a potted plant. I've got a ghillie suit.
You're going to go as a potted plant?
Yeah, and I'm going to get me a plant pot, and I'm going to go, and instead of surprising people on my porch, I'm going to go sit on other people's porches that don't know that I'm there.
So I always wanted to get, because my kids had a lot of dolls and all that, and I had this. I saw it online, but I wanted to get a bunch of dolls, messed up dolls, and like have a row of them. But then I saw somebody that it was like if you take black plastic and you wrap it around like milk cartons and stuff like that in a certain way, it'll look like bodies.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you can
don't
make
do
it
that.
look like dolls are carrying corpses out of the house.
Oh, that's not going to be the stuff of nightmares at all.
The one I always want to do, the one practical joke I always want to do, never did it while I was in the service. Nuclear. So I always want to get some dry ice and some of those really big Siloon sticks, you know, you break them and they glow. Like, and then like, go
Yeah, I
into a
can see
restroom.
where that's going.
Go into a restroom,
Dry
make
us
it
in the
sound like
toilet.
you're having, like fill it with Siloon and dry ice. It's like this fog rolling out under, and then just walk out like, oh.
I imagine that would also be HR action.
Quite
We
possible.
don't have HR in the Navy.
They do. It's just a court martial. For that one, they might make you walk the plank.
They don't have planks anymore. Keel hauling is still on the books, though.
Really?
Interesting.
Well, given the size of an aircraft carrier, that would be a heck of a rough go,
Yeah.
frankly.
That would probably never end.
Well, I mean, not for the person being a haul.
When was it? It was World War II was the last one. 1946.
Post World War II.
Wow.
Last one in the U.S.
I'm.
You got to mess up bad for that.
Yeah. No. Clearly.
Hey! Only got a couple left.
All right.
DIY diamond ring. Woman spent 3 weeks digging in Arkansas to find her own diamond for her engagement ring.
That's
That's a
dedication.
dedicated DIYer.
That's dedication right there. Props to her.
I brought a couple of gemstones back from the Middle East when I came back because I was really surprised that they were as inexpensive as they were. We had one guy that had like the emergency credit card, and his wife was so mad at him because in one purchase, I think we were in Bahrain, he maxed her emergency credit card, a couple grand. She was absolutely, he's like, just wait. And they're trading back and forth like, yeah, he's in a doghouse. And he bought a diamond, a cut diamond from, like they just had, I walked in, I want to look at some gemstones, I asked about some diamonds, and this lady literally pushes her hand down into a bunch of diamonds and goes like this on the counter. They're just rolling around. And then she walked away. And I'm in the U.S., you know, I'm from the U.S., I'm like, man, they won't let you have two rings on the counter at the same time. And then I realized,
We might be cutting that one too. But when he brought it back into the States,
he did not bring it. He put it in an envelope to his wife and mailed it. Uninsured, unregistered.
What?
Because he figured he didn't want to bring a lot of attention to it.
Yeah.
It made it.
I'm not
She
surprised.
gets it. So I don't know. He spent like $3-4 grand on it, right?
Yeah.
She is going to show him. She takes it and has it appraised. And he was immediately out of the doghouse.
What was it worth? A new car?
like 20.
I'm not-
Because you're buying them from where they, you know, like.
One of the things that somebody explained to me once about economics is it's not things being scarce. It's things being scarce here versus there.
Oh yeah, like gold soup, anything you wanted, just sold by weight. Didn't matter how intricate it was.
Yeah.
Sold by weight. Oh, all right. Now, that's the end of the real ones. There's the cryptid mystery section we could go by, where it talks about Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster both having a sighting in August, and apparently the Lake Champlain Monster.
So we actually in an upcoming.
Apparently August is good for cryptids.
So was September, but I left that one out. Mostly because I want to bring in one of the future episodes. I want to bring in somebody who does research on them, like legit, actual scientific research. I imagine this is somebody I've known for a while. I imagine this will be interesting. Interesting. You ever see Ghostbusters? Yeah. Think of this person as like our Peter Venkman.
Not Ray.
Wow.
No. No. But like less sneaky and more wholesome. So kind of like Ray. Ray in personality.
I did hear a good
Awesome.
one for Bigfoot though,
Yeah.
and they were trying to explain, why are there no focused photos? And he was a comedian, and he said, "What if the problem is that Bigfoot is just blurry?
That would be
Like Bigfoot
that would
himself
that
is
would
blurry."
be a good explanation.
So you can't get a good photo.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Because you're taking a perfectly good photo. He's just not
Right.
good to look at. That's entirely possible.
What if the hair itself is an optical reflection? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like those paparazzi proof jackets or glasses or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the facial ID ones that
Yeah.
mess up the
exactly.
Yeah.
The first time I saw
That's
like
a natural defense for you.
the first time I saw that you could like troubleshoot a remote control, an infrared remote control with a digital camera, like years ago. I was like, oh, that's genius.
You remember the old Sony video,
Yeah.
like the camcorder, and the problem
Yeah.
with that one?
No, what?
So they only had it. I think they only had it for like 2 years before somebody realized it. But it had a low light function and a high, right? So and you could probably find on the internet where people did it. But the Sony camcorder used to be able to like mess with its light level, and you would drop it like way down and then bring it up, and it essentially stripped clothes off people.
How?
I don't know. That's a whole level of physics I am not an expert in.
Yeah, I don't know how that one would work, but you know.
I don't think all clothes either. I think it really mattered what type, which ones.
I'll go ahead and say up front, we're not buying one of those cameras. You don't have to
I was
worry
not
about that.
proposing we do.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that internet. Got plenty to worry about with us, not that one. Oh my no. What else we got?
That was it for August.
That was it. All right. I know David handles building controls, but we have a different group that handles access control, right? Other than you?
SAT handles access control.
Yeah. So
Although I have had classes.
here's an access control problem for you to think about, even though it's not necessarily your thing. Doorbells in Germany were constantly ringing. Could be a lot of different things. They figured it was kids doing the standard ding dong ditch. No, it was not. Apparently, snail slime is conductive, slightly. And so a snail had gotten into the panel behind the apartment complex's doors and was shorting across the different things.
Did it shock the snail?
Apparently not, because like I don't know what voltage German doorbells are, but here I don't
we'll
think
see them
they.
at 24, but like mine handles 120 because it goes to the ringer.
Okay, so some of them are probably a lot hotter than
Let's say
others.
ring voltage on the old rotary phone.
Yeah.
Ring voltage is 120, even though it's got those little POTS line
Yeah,
phone things. But the normal talk line voltage is way lower.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Apparently, it was not that high, but also it's Europe, so it'd be like 220.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it had to be like a really, really low voltage. Yeah, because they're not.
Well, high voltage, low amp. Maybe that's it.
still,
Because they run, what, 50 hertz? Which is why theirs is less likely to kill a human.
I don't care. It's still going to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
277 will make you scream like a...
Banshee.
I have been bit several times. I screamed so loud once that there was a admin assistant or something. I was in front of her on a ladder trying to work on... I was just trying to move a wire out of the way. I didn't even touch anything that was conductive. But the 277 found me. I screamed like a 12-year-old girl, and she screamed like a 12-year-old girl and threw her chair back because I screamed.
My favorite thing is when somebody's spotting for me like that and I'm not getting shocked to scream. Because they always scream too.
I worked with a guy, he said, when he was on a submarine, he said his favorite thing to do, so they don't do it on surface ships as much anymore because it's caused problems, but I think some still do it, but they'll tell you the reactor is now critical, which a lot of people think means bad, because in movies it always means bad. It goes back to my truth in movies, right?
Yeah.
But critical just means self-sustaining.
Yep.
Right. So, but they would announce the reactor is now critical. And his favorite thing to do was to get in the line, like one line, like a chow line, and be next to the new guy.
And scream.
And then they would get there and they would announce the reactor is critical, and he would drop his tray of food and turn around and grab him and be like, "What are you going to do?" Just to see the look on their face.
Then that's why they
Like
don't.
you have to say.
That's why they don't do it on a surface ship.
I heard
They
that.
can do it on the submarine because the guy can't just open the
I
door
heard-
and throw the person
I want to say it was
out.
the Enterprise, but it was in Alameda.
Yeah, or jump.
And I had heard that they made the announcement because, like, sometimes they'll pull out and they're not all up. And they had made the announcement, and like a lot of times, like pleasure craft will come alongside when a carrier's going. It's a big, nice
Sure, yeah.
ship, right?
Yeah.
They don't get up on it, but they made that announcement, and of course it comes over the whole ship's announcing system, and like all of the.
That's funny.
I was in France. We had some pleasure craft come up. We were in Cannes. Missed the film festival by like a week.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in Cannes, and they're coming up, and I smoked back then, so I'm on the smoking Sponson, and we're all up there. And of course, import you have to have covers on, like hats. So we all wear ball caps, save your Dixie cups for the for the nice, uniform inspections.
Yep.
So we're all up there. All of us are wearing ball caps, and they come up. It's a pretty nice boat. It's 2 guys, 2 girls, and they're yelling, but they're yelling like heavily accented, French accented English. Like not usually, so we're having trouble. And plus, we have fans, exhaust blowing over top of us, and we can't hear. And they keep yelling. We're like, what? What? There's like 25 guys on the smoking Sponson. And what it was they wanted caps. Because they all have like the command, USS Enterprise, CBS,
Yeah.
right? They wanted caps. We couldn't hear them at all. So after about 2 minutes, one of them just grabs her shirt, pulls it up. 30 caps go all the caps go off the side of the boat, and her and her friend just jumped in, swam, and picked them all up, waved, and away went the boat. Everyone's like, what? Oh!
Color me not at all surprised that a bunch of 18 to about 26-year-olds were.
It's like, ball caps for beads and
exactly. Exactly.
I mean, it's not like we had a hard time. You could just go in. Everybody had like 3 or 4 of them, right? And they sold them at the ship's store if you ran out. You're not allowed to wear them when you're underway. Oh.
In terms of bad neighbors. In terms of bad neighbors, cats and dogs don't get along, do they? Sometimes not, or stereotypically not.
Yeah.
The beagles that we have had viewed cat as a food group. So beagles and cats do not get along. Our neighbor across the street has cats, and I told them that and was like, just be aware. But it went for quite a turn when a 76-year-old lady blasted her neighbor in the face with a flare gun over a dispute of cat and dog. So this has escalated from...
I feel like I saw a video of this, but I didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't say what it was about.
Yeah, it was over the dog and the cat not getting along.
So that led to flare gun.
led to a flare gun being fired into somebody's face. Now, I don't know if you've ever shot one. You ever? I mean, you've been out on post before. You actually fired one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like a 12 gauge shotgun round that's discharging this flaming little ball. It's sort of like in D&D casting fireball.
What do they use for those now? Phosphorus or magnesium?
I guarantee it's not phosphorus. Well, it might be actually because it burns red. And magnesium, if memory serves, still burns white.
Well, but you can mix it with something too to get the color.
I don't know what they were.
I got a friend who makes his own
since
fireworks.
last time I did that.
I don't want to be on the list of people that have made fireworks. But yeah, that was a New York thing, apparently. New York deals with stuff in different ways. That was
Gotcha.
an excellent one. Also, political stuff. My favorite person has come up. It is now September. We're in Portland. There's quite a lot of protests happening in Portland.
Okay.
That was the month that the Portland frog appeared.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
the guy wearing the inflatable frog costume.
Yes, and so not only was there the frog,
Football's doing
we
it.
had inflatable costumes such as banana suits, frogs, dinosaurs, axolotls.
That's awesome.
I know, I was impressed by the axolotl, but the
Hey,
frog
who's
was
the
my
muscle
favorite. That'd
Bugs
be
and
great.
bugs.
I loved it. No, the frog got kind of famous because a bunch of overzealous law enforcement, we'll put quotes around that, people decided to spray pepper spray into the intake on his fan, and the individual inside, I would love to interview you, sir or ma'am or whomever, said that they had tamales that were spicier.
Wow.
Well, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the concentration and the hit.
It being aerosolized and then contained in your little costume with you, because it's basically a fan for like one of these laptops. Yeah. Or probably for more a desktop machine, but it's one of those 5-volt DC fans that's running. That had to be.
But it's also going to get like stuck to the inside. You know what I mean? Like it's got to hit the inside of the suit. It's going to blow through. It's going to stick to your clothes. Like how much
they're
of it are
wearing
you getting?
clothes, yeah. I'd still think it'd be a pretty good
I'm not
test.
saying it wouldn't.
I'm
but
just saying I wouldn't want it to happen to me, but that person absolutely gangstered it up.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like, I've had hotter tamales. Good on you. That was my favorite thing out of September. There's several more. The addition to the frog colony, which it grew into eventually, we had Pillsbury Doughboy, sharks, squids. You mentioned who had the giant squid? You did. Well, there's also one in Portland. And oh yes, dinosaurs. So
Gotta have dinosaurs.
the asteroid came by and dropped them off. Talking about marriages and an engagement.
okay.
Fella in Japan, 40-year-old, married a holographic partner.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that one.
I'm not sure how. Never mind. We'll just
That
say
just made
that.
it worse.
Yeah. But there was virtual guests and.
Look,
a
I'm over here
virtual-
trying to be good. I've like avoided 5 comments.
Yeah,
already.
I know. I'm intentionally
Which is
avoiding them.
rare for me.
Yeah, we don't need to go down that path. But there was virtual cake and virtual guests eating the virtual cake.
How long until they
Sounds
make
like
that?
an incredible virtual party.
Yeah. Next to last thing. Where do you not want to see a vending machine? Worst place possible to see a vending machine.
Bathroom.
the worst
Yes.
bathroom?
Yes. Dispensing what?
Anything edible.
Yes.
You
Well,
do
that's
see them
not
in
the
there.
worst. That's
You
not
do
the worst
see,
thing
you
it
do
could
see
be
vending
dispensing.
machines there where they're dispensing condoms and
Yeah.
tampons and,
Yeah,
and stuff
lady,
like that.
lady products,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
sorts of things.
But
The worst, that's not worst. That's not the worst thing they could be dispensing. If food is Pretty far up there, but I would not say that's the worst thing that you could be dispensing in a vending machine in the bathroom.
Now I'm deeply disturbed.
The toilet paper.
Wow.
Yeah, that's capitalism run amok. Care to guess where?
Japan.
China.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's the level that like
That's where
that
we're
is a
headed.
metaphor.
That is
That
where
is a
we are
live
headed in this country
metaphor
right now.
for healthcare and insurance in the United States.
Yes.
You're here. You've committed.
You have no
You
choice.
can't
We have
pay
you.
us.
Yes, we have you. You are going to pay. You're going to pay whatever we want. Yeah. Apparently, you had the toilet paper roll had a QR code that would take you to a pay site where you could then get apparently the number of squares that you had purchased. So it was not an all you can take.
Wow.
And how are they delivered?
I don't care to find
Your
out.
butt
Gene.
napkins.
Well, now I'm. Now
What we are
I'm
not
really
going to do.
concerned. Yeah.
What we are not going to do is have any footage of that particular story in action. Gene is a diver.
But I'm really curious about the mechanism for how that would actually work. Like, how does it even know
I
where
don't
to cut
have-
the paper?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's
Okay,
an
no,
engineering
it's-
problem to me. So,
At that point, no, so your length of each sheet's going to be known, right?
right?
So, I mean, for a given number of rotations, depending on how many it's already dispensed, you'll know
Yeah.
how many times it has to rotate to
Yeah.
spit out, I don't know, 10 sheets or 3 sheets. So it needs to know how many sheets they had to start with and its overall thickness.
then do the
and
math, yeah.
Yeah, it just needs to do, it's a math problem at that
Yeah.
point.
Interesting.
It's not one I want to solve.
No.
We give that to David, he's our engineer.
That's
Ooh.
That's how I wound up designing a boat.
Ooh, did it dispense toilet paper via QR code?
Nope.
Good. You're allowed to keep making boats then.
I modeled it off the Constitution, by the way.
Oh, that's
it does
really-
tie back to earlier conversation
Nice.
about
The
trees that
the
we had
trees,
at lunch.
yeah. Okay, Gene, what is the worst things you've ever done diving?
Physiologically?
Maybe
or-
not. I was thinking more like, I tripped over something, or I
You tripped while swimming.
Yeah, somehow. I don't know. I'll save you your blushes there because that was headed south quickly. In a bizarre heist in Disney Springs in Florida, a thief in a wetsuit robbed a restaurant after swimming up to it, made off with a couple tens of thousands of dollars, and then swam away. The worst thing he could have done? He hit a dive bar. Sorry.
That was bad. So bad.
I'm so I apologize, Internet.
So bad.
Yeah.
It's not a bad way to get away,
No, I mean,
but it does limit what you're going after.
so U.S. currency, for those who don't handle large amounts of cash, it's not actually paper. It's fair bit of it is cloth, right? And the ink is also very much not water soluble, right?
It
Otherwise,
also
you
doesn't dry.
Yeah, I've heard that. I think that's the older bills. I don't know about the modern
No,
ones.
it's the same ink. Like,
Still-
doesn't dry. That's why it picks up stuff. That's why most U.S. bills are traceable on cocaine.
That doesn't surprise
Because they
me
pick
at all.
up.
Yeah. I know that you used to be able to take it to like on a white sheet of paper, a very white sheet of paper, and rub it. It would leave the paper
Yeah, that's why
looking
that
dirty.
That's why that marker works for picking up counterfeits,
Really?
because it interacts with that specific.
Oh. Which is fine right up until the marker's dried out and it doesn't work, and the person there tells you that you're counterfeiting money. You're like, you're the bank. You should have better markers. That was the best conversation I've had in a bank.
My favorite counterfeiting story involves kids. Photocopy machine.
Were you counterfeiting children?
Nope, they were. They photocopied $5 bills so they could get coins at the arcade because they realized the machine that you fed the fives into couldn't tell the difference on one side, so they were just like put a copy on one side of the $5 bill, cutting it out and feeding it through so they could get coins, which they were then spending in the arcade.
Mm-hmm.
But
that has to be
the
stopped.
Secret Service does come.
Yeah.
And they don't care what age you are. That does
No.
count as counterfeiting.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to touch that one. All right. Stuff rolling.
Life between like Navy and various jobs, and you know what I mean? Like it just. Like
I wouldn't say weird. Like everybody has their own set of experiences that are, that have gotten them where they are. I'll say I'm really grateful to have not had some of the experiences some of the people that are around me have had. I'm very much trying to take the path of least resistance.
I think I've done the path of most resistance.
Yeah, I didn't say I did it right, Gee.